Hi there and welcome to my kitchen. My name is Dipali and today we're going to be making a traditional Indian dish called Cabbage Sambharo. Basically what this is a warm spice salad, kind of like coleslaw. So we're going to start with a bowl of cabbage, julienne, so this basically just run through a shredder. I'd say this is probably the equivalent of about 1/4 of a small cabbage. What I have here are a bunch of colorful vegetables. This is about 1/4 orange pepper julienne, 1/4 red, 1/4 green, 1/4 yellow, all julienne, and 1 carrot shredded. So to your bowl of cabbage, just dump in all the vegetables. Oh, and if you can't find all these colors of peppers, that's cool. It's just the more the merrier, but if you can't find them, you can't find them. Just use one color. So now that I've put in all the vegetables, you need to dehydrate this, and the best way to dehydrate this is to add salt. So in this bowl I have about 1 tablespoon of salt, a little bit less than 1 tablespoon. So just put that in, and then I'm going to use my hand to just mix it all about. You need to make sure you get the salt mixed in properly because that's going to cause the vegetables to dehydrate and lose water, which is what we want. So just get your hand in there and mix it about. Just keep mixing. You'll feel that the cabbage is losing volume because of the salt. Okay, good enough. And I made a mess, but it's okay. So now that this is all mixed up, you need to let this sit for about 15 minutes. Just to let all the water remove itself from the vegetables. Once that's done, you're going to, using your hands, squeeze out all the excess water. And so I'm just going to let this sit for 15 minutes and then we'll come back to it. Okay, so here we are about 15 minutes later, and the salt has kind of worked its way through the cabbage and the carrot and the peppers, and it's dehydrated them. So you can see that the volume has become significantly less. And the idea now is to use your elbow grease and squeeze all the water out of this salad. And just make sure you wash your hands first. So what I'm going to do is just show you how this is done on a little bit of it, but we're not going to go through all of it. So I have a handful, and just squeeze with all your might and get all the water out. You can see that it's dripping. And it's in your best interest to get as much water out as you can because that'll make for a salad which is less mushy. Like if you leave water in there, then the salad won't remain as crunchy. It'll get kind of soggy, which is no fun for anybody. So there's one bit. I'm going to do one more just to show you. So just take a handful. So you see all the water? Squeeze. So I would keep doing this until I've gone through everything. I'm not going to go through all that now. What I have done is, let me get this out of the way. What I have is one which I prepared already. And so this has basically had all the water squeezed out of it, and we're ready to move on to the next step. Okay, so we're back. The next step now is to make a warm spice, just dressing in some way for our salad. So how do you do this? Start by just putting about a tablespoon of oil in a pot. I'm just going to put some in. You can measure it if you want. I think it's about a tablespoon. So let that heat up. While that heats up, I'm going to show you what we're going to put in as a base. Now I'll show you this again. For those who have watched a previous video I've done, I've showed you this, but I'll show it again. This is a traditional Indian spice box, and what we're going to use is mustard seeds as the base. So once you want to let the oil heat up sufficiently before you put the seeds in, and it feels to me like it's almost there. So just drop some in. For measurement, maybe a teaspoon. Just drop a teaspoon in. If you like more, put more. which I do, so I'm going to. Now, as these start to get warm, they'll pop, and they'll pop everywhere. So keep a lid nearby, or what I do is I kind of tilt the pot a little bit so it's not directly on the heat. That will stop them from getting really warm really fast. So we just want to let these heat up. I don't know if you can hear that, but they're starting to pop. There you go. You can probably definitely hear that now. There we go. Can you see? Right. Into this, toss some white sesame seeds. Probably another teaspoon, a little more than a teaspoon. Whoops. I guess I put more than a teaspoon. And just heat those a little bit. Don't let them burn. You want the color to change from white to golden brown a little bit. And so, as I said, when you're heating the sesame seeds, the mustard seeds will still continue to pop. So if you feel like they're flying everywhere, just tilt the pot forward a little bit so it's not directly on the heat. Okay, so I think we're good to go. The next thing we're going to add, and this is important, is turmeric. This will give your salad color. So I'd say add about a teaspoon of turmeric right into the oil. And just swash it around. Maybe a little bit more, just a touch. The next thing you're going to add is green chili. I have it ground and frozen, so I just took out a chunk like this. If you're using fresh, just depending on how spicy you like things, maybe just chop up one green chili, one thin green chili. So this may make a little bit of a splash, but let's just do it. Now, so here's a little peek for you. The next thing I would add to this is some chopped up cilantro, right into the oil. I don't have any, so I'm going to skip that step, but it's a really nice flavor, so if you do have some, then I suggest adding it at this point. So that's pretty much it for the dressing. And so basically what you're going to do is just toss it into your salad. Just mix it up with a spoon. Make sure you mix it well. Okay, so this is what it looks like. Let's turn off the stove. So a couple more things to add to this as finishing touches. A pinch of sugar, like 1/4 teaspoon, or maybe a little more than a 1/4 teaspoon, very little.